What if love demanded the unthinkable? What if duty shattered the dreams of a father and son? And what if a single vow, taken under the weight of heartbreak, altered the fate of an entire dynasty? This is the story of Shantanu, of love lost and found, and of Bhishma, the man who gave up everything not for glory but for the happiness of others. Yet, even the gods would tremble at the cost of such sacrifice. This is where the seeds of the Mahabharata were sown. What price does love demand? What curse does sacrifice bring? This tale will shatter your understanding of loyalty, duty, and destiny itself. Welcome to the unfolding saga of the Mahabharata. The majestic Ganga flowed, as eternal and untouchable as ever. But for Shantanu, the river had become a mirror of his sorrow. The goddess he had loved, who bore him a son, was now gone, leaving behind only memories. Days turned into months, and the emptiness in Shantanu's heart remained. But fate, ever unpredictable, had plans for Shantanu. In a quiet village, far from the grand halls of Hastinapura, lived a fisher girl named Satyavati. Her story too was touched by the divine. In the heart of a wild forest, Uparichara, the king of Chedi, pursued his hunt. Days turned to weeks, and the hunt stretched endlessly. It was here that he met a fisher girl, and from their union, twins were born, a boy and a girl. Matsayagandhi and her twin brother were separated at birth. Her brother was taken to the palace, but she was left among the fisher folk. Matsayagandhi, the one who smells of fish, was her name, and the river was her world. She was beautiful and intelligent, yet the scent of fish defined her, a mark of her origins and a reminder of her place in the world. But Matsayagandhi dreamed of more, a destiny beyond the humble shores she called home. One fateful day, the great sage Parashara, wounded and weary, arrived at the village. Entrusted with his care, Matsayagandhi tended to him. His aura, his wisdom, it captivated Satyavati. Drawn to him, she saw an opportunity to rise above her lot. And so, from their union on that small island, a boy was born, Krishna Dvaipayana. His dark complexion earned him the name Krishna. Born on an island, he was called Dvaipayana. This child would one day become Vyasa, the one who shaped the epic you now hear. Before Parashara departed with his boy, he granted Matsayagandhi a boon. The fishy scent that clung to her vanished, replaced by a fragrance so heavenly it enchanted all who came near. From that day, she was no longer Matsayagandhi, she became Satyavati, the one who smells of truth. Now, coming back to Shantanu's story, yet in time, as the seasons turned and years passed, Ganga returned, keeping her promise. By her side stood Devavrata, a young man of grace and strength, with wisdom beyond his years. The boy had already mastered skills from the great parashurama. He could rival the greatest warriors in wisdom that belied his age, trained to embody the nobility and courage that would one day shape his destiny. The king of Hastinapura, once vibrant and full of life, now wore the weight of solitude like a crown of thorns. Devavrata, seeing his father's sorrow, resolved to be his strength. By the age of 16, Devavrata was unmatched in combat, unparalleled in learning, and unwavering in loyalty to his father. The court of Hastinapura hailed him as a prince destined for greatness. One day, seeking solace from his burdens, Shantanu ventured deep into the forest. The gentle fragrance of flowers in the air led him to the banks of the Yamuna, and there he saw her. She was Satyavati, a fisherwoman whose beauty and divine fragrance captivated Shantanu's heart. For the first time since Ganga's departure, his heart stirred with longing. Shantanu approached her father, Dasa, with a proposal for marriage. But the fisherman was no fool. He saw the emperor's desperation and named his price, a price that struck at the very heart of the Kuru dynasty. Dasa demanded that Satyavati's children be the heirs to the throne. For Shantanu, this was impossible. His beloved son Devavrata was already the crown prince. To agree to Dasa's demand would mean denying his beloved son the throne. Unable to choose between his love and his duty, Shantanu returned to the palace, defeated. Shantanu sat in silence, staring at nothing, his head bowed in shame. When his son, the valiant Devavrata, saw his father's plight, he couldn't remain a silent observer. Devavrata approached his father in the royal hall. "Father," he began, his voice steady and full of concern, "the kingdom thrives under your rule, and the people revere you. Yet I see you suffering. What troubles you so deeply?" Shantanu, unable to meet his son's gaze, shook his head and looked away. "It is nothing, my son," he whispered. But Devavrata could see the pain etched in his father's face. Unwilling to let his father suffer in silence, Devavrata sought answers elsewhere. He went to the royal charioteer, the man who had accompanied Shantanu on his recent hunt. "Ever since that day, my father has not been the same," Devavrata said. "Tell me, what happened during the hunt?" The charioteer hesitated, but then said, "My prince, I cannot say much. I took him to the house of the fisherfolk chief. Your father entered with joy and hope. But when he emerged, he looked as though his soul had been taken." Determined to uncover the truth, Devavrata decided to visit the fisherman himself. At the humble abode of the fisherman, Devavrata stood tall and resolute. "My father is a mighty king," he said. "What is it that has caused him such despair?" The fisherman, calm and unyielding, replied, "Your father desires my daughter, Satyavati. I have only one condition. Her children must inherit the throne, but your presence stands in the way." Devavrata, the dutiful son, did not flinch. "If that is all, then let it be so. I renounce my claim to the throne. Let Satyavati's children rule in my place." The fisherman, still unconvinced, said, "A noble promise. But what if you have children of your own? They will fight for the throne." Without hesitation, Devavrata swore a terrible vow. "I shall never marry, nor will I father children. My life will be dedicated to the throne and the kingdom." The fisherman, still doubtful, warned, "You are young and brave now, but life's temptations are powerful. Are you certain of this?" In a final act of resolve, Devavrata took the most extreme step. He vowed to live a life devoid of all earthly desires, sacrificing not only his claim to the throne, but also the joys of family and lineage. This act earned him the name Bhishma. meaning one who undertakes a terrible vow. With his son's unimaginable sacrifice, Shantanu's path was cleared, and he married Satyavati. But Bhishma's vow would echo through the ages, shaping the destiny of the Kuru dynasty and leading to the epic tale of the Mahabharata. With Bhishma's vow, Bharata's legacy of leadership earned through merit was broken. By placing personal dharma above the universal welfare, Bhishma unknowingly set the stage for the Mahabharata war. This sacrifice, though noble, disrupted the balance of dharma, leading to a conflict that would define the destiny of the Kuru dynasty. Join us in the next episode of RV's Timeless Tales as we uncover how this vow shaped the epic's course.